Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Titanfall.
Shut up and take my money!
My name's Axyl from Hate Me Gaming, and here's why you should be playing this game. Titanfall is a multiplayer first-person shooter developed by Respawn Entertainment and was released on March 11th, 2014. Ordinarily, I wouldn't talk about the developer before the game, but I feel it's relevant to the experience this game offers. Respawn Entertainment was founded by Jason West and Vince Zampella, formerly of Infinity Ward. These guys invented Call of Duty. However, citing both creative stifling as well as a sordid list of accusations between them and their former publisher Activision, the two left and went solo, starting Respawn with startup capital from EA Games, who wanted publishing rights to their first title in exchange. Titanfall is that game. The obvious comparison to Call of Duty but with robots is massively inaccurate and woefully simplistic, whilst the gunplay is tight and responsive, favouring the twitch shooter mindset rather than something more tactical as fans of the Battlefield series believe exists there, and features such as the mid-screen XP pop-up giving the player that instant gratification upon performing any feat imaginable short of simply not dying. This game holds something so much deeper than either of the two kings of genre have previously offered. Freedom. Freedom of movement, freedom of tactics, freedom to engage any foe, player or AI as a direct threat or prey to be toyed with before swooping in for the final strike. At the risk of sounding pretentious, this game is an exercise in player empowerment done right. The free-running parkour system here is one of the best you'll find anywhere. The ease and grace in which the player is allowed to perform gravity-defying acts of aerobatic ninjistics is astounding. Within only a couple of hours, you'll be hurtling down a zipline from a cliff top, only to drop down onto the head of an enemy titan, swiftly blast a couple of magazines of ammo into the inner workings of its metallic skull, before sticking a couple of satchel charges to its head, leaping off, double jumping 30 feet into the air, detonating the satchel charges behind you and enjoying the warm, smug feeling spreading across your whole body, before scrambling through an open window, sprinting through a shantytown bedroom and out onto the wooden balcony on the other side, leaping gracefully through the air, before being caught mid-air by your own titan waiting patiently behind some houses, popping you into its chest, the hatch closes, the screens flicker into life, and off you and your metallic buddy go, merrily stomping your way back into the fray. Fans of Mirror's Edge, Assassin's Creed or Brink's movement systems will immediately feel at home here. Fans of Call of Duty's tight, reflex-driven gunplay will also find a home. Sci-fi fans who've been desperately waiting for the current trends of modern-day combat or zombies for something to sink their teeth into also. But more than that, this is a game that encourages and rewards player focus and skill above all else, unless you're using the smart pistol, but you'll find out about that soon enough. Existing players, you know what I mean. Over time, you will discover new and interesting ways to use the various mechanics and weaponry at your disposal, leaving satchel charges at a capture point and waiting to detonate them until you see that point is under attack, using electric smoke and then stepping out of it to allow a teammate to step into the enemy damaging cloud to remove the hostile pilot riding him, thus allowing that teammate to bring a different and possibly more beneficial ability to the battlefield, using wall running and double jumping to climb to the very top of a map to give a smooth run home carrying the enemy's flag in capture the flag mode. And these are just basic tactics. The depth and flexibility offered here makes this not only a lightning fast shooter for the caffeine dependent, it also becomes a game about skill, on-the-fly thinking and creative problem solving. At first glance, piloting a Titan seems incredibly similar to running around on foot, but a few hours in, especially spent playing Last Titan Standing mode, which offers the player only one Titan and no respawns, and you'll start to look at the maps differently, as well as your criteria for risk assessment. A boulder becomes a trip hazard, stopping you from escaping that unseen barrage from your left flank, instead of being life-saving cover when on foot and under fire. Tight urban areas become death traps of enemy pilots with arc mines and satchel charges, instead of a hunting ground for the high mobility of being on foot. With 15 maps on release and 5 game modes, 50 levels of unlocks and rewards, more challenges than you can count, burn cards which offer an in-game buff that only lasts for one life and can only be used at the start of a round or upon dying, multiple weapons and attachments for them, some of which can make for significantly different handling or uses. The game is not short on content either. The campaign, which is also played multiplayer, the entire game is online multiplayer only, no single player or bot matches here, is 9 missions, played through twice, once as each of the game's 2 main factions. The voice acting is as you would expect, and I'm sure the story is great, but personally, I've played through the campaign 3 times, twice to unlock each of the Titan chassis variants and once more to help a friend, and I still have no idea who anyone was or why we were fighting. It doesn't matter. Honestly, I found even winning or losing a match didn't matter that much, as the losing team is given an epilogue mission in which they must stay alive with no respawns and get to an extraction point in order to evacuate on the incoming dropship before it leaves without them. The dropship's location and arrival time is marked for both teams, so a frantic race for survival ensues, with any successful survivors being rewarded with yet more XP and being warped back into orbit around the planet to, presumably, explain to their superiors why everyone else is dead. Add to this the fact that the game is incredibly well optimized, running on dual-core machines with only 4GB of RAM with only very little trouble, but with plenty of room to turn things up if you're running a hardcore gaming PC. With a season pass available for only £20 or your regional equivalent, offering 3 DLCs that, at time of launch, are said to add more maps and possibly even more game modes, unlocks and maybe even Titan chassis, this is a top quality shooter that not only delivers what it claims to, but looks like it will continue to live up to its impressive first impressions.
From me, Axyl, and the rest of the casting crew here at Hate Me Gaming, I really hope you've enjoyed the video. Chuck us a like and a comment if you've got anything you want to let us know, and we'll see you guys in a while.